I would not want them wasting some of the public money that is other features, because here's the thing, they don't even really use the retractable roof. The Broncos owner yesterday was quoted saying, hey, if which they're building a retractable roof out in Denver, by the way, the roof would have been closed for that AFC title game. So like last week when they had the blizzard in the fourth quarter, we never would have seen that anyway. So yes, I wish the stadium was open air, but if it's going to be closed anyway with retractable, then that adds a huge amount of cost to the project. I'd rather them use that money for other really cool features than have the retractable roof. The retractable roof is a waste of money.
I think the retractable roof is a waste of money for football. I think the reason these builders like the retractable roof is they want it open for Kenny Chesney on a Sunday in July, Gold. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual football part of it. Because when the weather's nice, my question is, what's the cutoff? Because if it's 30 in Denver and you have a retractable roof, keep it open. The weather should matter. The weather should impact it. But I'm kind of with you. I want retractable because I still want the idea of feeling like I could be outside. But I also understand from a business perspective and from a taxpayer perspective, if they're never going to open it anyway, then yeah, I guess just do dome. I mean, I don't really see what the harm is. I guess if you're never going to open it anyway. I always point out the Houston Astros and some of these other ones. I will never forget the Astros for a Royals playoff game in which it was 72 degrees and they kept it closed. 72! And they were like, eh.
I think that they're more teams want to make sure. You're telling me my team plays better when it's not cold outside? Oh, no kidding. The players hate it when it's cold outside. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to give them the best chance to play to the best of their ability. That's why we're going to a dome. That's why we're going to be inside.
Yeah,
that's the way that it's going to be.
I didn't want a dome. I think the retractable roof is a waste of time and a waste of money. You're never opening it anyway.
You're never getting enough value out of it. That I understand. For my All 32, I want to talk about a couple things that are taking place over in the league meetings. Two things that I think are worthy of note. One is that the NFL got their data back on the kick returns. Kick returns jumped from 70 up to 74.5% return rate. In 2025, it was down to 32.8%. In 2024, it was down to 10% the year before that. So the injury rates and kickoffs was lower than they expected as well. ACL injuries were down 25%. Achilles tears were down. And only 30 fines or so were done for hip drop tackles, which were down there. So all good news, right?
Yeah, the tweak did work for sure.
We got kick returns back. Here's the bad news. The NFL, as a result of this and other stuff, is going to look at a couple of things as it relates to replay assist. One, they said they're going to continue to look at kick returns because of all the things I just said went down. Guess what didn't? Concussions. And if concussions didn't go down, they might still look at maybe getting rid of the kickoff altogether. So they're going to kick that around in the league meetings. Doesn't mean they will. They got the kick return back in the game, and that part worked. Their question is, are they willing to accept concussions remaining at a similar rate, even though they changed a little bit? The other one, though, that I hate, and I want to emphasize, is the NFL is now considering, as a part of health and safety briefing on Friday morning, their chief administration officer, Don Aponte, says that they will explore the possibility of using replay review, as in eye in the sky, to call penalties for safety-related infractions that the officials miss during live action, saying that they could call penalties that weren't on the field for blows to the head, use of the helmet, roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness, and more. And the refs on the field don't call it, but old eye in the sky sees a little helmet-to-helmet contact when they get him under the chin of the quarterback. I don't want more penalties in football. There's already enough penalties. I don't want people who aren't refs making more calls. I hate it. And then, they're going to do it. But they're going to look at it, Gold, pass.
I thought the tweak to kickoffs were great. It really,
that part I like.
Once they did the new kickoff rule, look, this is, whenever we talk about the kickoff, we're like, well, I wanted the old one. For sure, I would love the original one, but we know they're not going back to the original kickoff because of what you just brought up with the concussions. So they tweaked the kickoff a year ago. It did not work a year ago because the penalty wasn't strong enough for touchbacks. They tweaked that this year, and it led to the results. But you're right. Yeah, they're also, Cody, they're always going to say we're going to review to check it. I don't actually think they're going to change much with the kickoffs this
Do you think that they'll change anything about the penalties? You think they're going to let roughing the passer
I don't think we should be reviewing roughing the passer. So that to me,
or just calling flags
They
for
need to
roughing
be
the passer
better
didn't
at
exist
calling it. Is
before.
what they need to be.
Yes, yes.
Make them full-time and
This
maybe
is the
there's more
full-time
incentive.
official thing and all that. I've said if you're going to get into like the reviewing the penalty thing, then it needs to just be either part of the challenge, like the coach challenge, or you get one separate penalty-related challenge. I don't know what it would be. I do not want every roughing the passer penalty being reviewed. But if a coach wants to use a challenge flag and review it, fine. I just think a lot of times those would never get overturned anyway, because technically by the letter of the law, the roughing the passer calls, a lot of them are correct. We just all think they're soft.
Well, but here's the problem is that I don't think you guys realize how many times in an NFL game a helmet touches Patrick Mahomes' helmet. And that is against the rules. That is roughing the passer.
That's what I'm saying. They would call it all the time.
All the time. It's a safety thing. And every little face mask when a guy got a pinky in there for half a second, that's getting called. I don't think you realize how many more penalties will be called if the Sky Cam judge is allowed to add 15 yards for every single face mask or every single time a guy gets caught under the chin at quarterback. There was one in the AFC title game. There were two in the AFC title game where a guy got caught under the chin. It happens all the time. Hell, you know what? Sadly, the biggest beneficiary of this might be Patrick Mahomes, because the way he moves in the pocket, his helmet gets bumped around a lot by opposing players. And I still don't want it. Not interested. Drew, what's yours?
Mile 32. I don't know. It seems a little bit weird. It doesn't feel like the Super Bowl's next week, and I don't know if it's because the Chiefs aren't playing in it, so we're not talking about it.
We're so used to it.
Or
probably a little bit of it, yeah.
Or my team's not in it, so I don't. Not that I don't care about it, but it doesn't.
It's not got the juice for you.
It doesn't feel like it's the Super Bowl, and I don't even think next week it's going to feel like it is. Like, oh yeah, the game's on. Like, it's not. It doesn't feel like a big deal, and I don't know exactly why. I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't feel like it's the Super Bowl next week, and I don't even know if next week it's going to feel like it is either.
Yeah, I think next week it might start. I don't know, like everybody, I can't speak for you. I think some of it, understandably so, in this city. Well, yeah, of course there's less buzz and energy. The Chiefs aren't in it. We've been seeing them for 3 straight years in the Super Bowl, so yeah, there is less buzz. My excitement for next week is obviously not the same level. I mean, totally with you on there.
It doesn't feel like Super Bowl week.
Well, it's not Super Bowl week yet.
Does it feel like Pro Bowl week to you?
Well, it's not Pro Bowl week.
Yes, because we're not talking. Yes, because
Man,
it's
not even. It's not even Pro Bowl week.
No, it feels like it because we're not looking forward to anything.
I gotta
this
say,
weekend.
Stop this
other than
nonsense.
college basketball.
Stop this bye week nonsense. Just play the Super Bowl on Sunday. Then we waiting anyway.
I agree.
It's a waste of time.
I wish. I know why they.
I
know why they don't do it. Yeah, I know why they don't do it, but I would love if you just told me the Super Bowl was this Sunday. Yep.
Imagine it was just like a couple days away. Woo! They're going to have to do that if they add this 18th game. That or they're going to have to play the season earlier. Wouldn't it be weird that before Labor Day the NFL season started?
Yes, it'd be very weird. Yes.
But I mean, they're not going to push into
they'll go to President's Day. They'll go to President's Day.
It's not going to work every President's Day?
Eventually, the Super Bowl will be the Sunday before, and yes, we will be on the air the day after the Super Bowl, no matter what.
It is amazing how the more that we talk about the stadium stuff, the more that not only the conversation of whether or not it's retractable or a dome comes up, but we see the other teams coming out with new stadium things, and then you just eventually the Chiefs will finally have a decision, and we'll figure out if the Chiefs are.
I'm giving you just straight dome.
Are just going to do that.
Oh man, I like outdoor football. Although this weather,
I think everybody
is again
does,
cold,
but
it's awful.
The players don't like playing in this.
I don't care,
and I think that
lots of people don't like their job.
No,
they pay millions of dollars to play outside. I don't. Oh no, that's cold. I don't like it. Tough.
No. I know.
I bet the construction worker outside today doesn't like.
Cody, I understand that, but if you found out that the Postal Service could find a way to make their routes indoors all the time, then I think they would do it. I think the drivers would like to do it. The teams have an option to make what they do be played indoors, and it also prohibits injuries. And to some extent, you're not the elements. Somebody slips and falls, and the game's lost on somebody slipping and falling.
Unless you got that MetLife turf, then it increases injuries.
Hey, you know what? Yeah,
or next to an electrical substation. You know, it's all good and fun, Gold, until you're next to an electrical substation.
Did you see Kyle Juszczyk is like vehemently involved in them? Like he wants them to investigate that badly.
He said they're going to.
Yeah, John Lynch.
He is very happy that they are going to do that.
What do they do if they find out it really is?
They have to move.
It's been 7 years.
They absolutely have to move.
They will have to build a new stadium somewhere else.
They're going to go to San Francisco
and
the NFLP, there'll be
new rules about it.
There'll be there'll be some lawsuits, et cetera.
How do you prove it? How do you
I'm
without
sure
a long-term study? How do you?
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. Yeah, they'll have to have some very smart people and researchers and scientists or whatever figure out exactly if it truly is enough of an impact. How is it? This something that's just getting overblown? Like, and it's such a minute thing, or is it actually causing anything? It's a hell of a story, though. Like, just to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, at first it just came out as like one dude's, what seemed like wingbat, just like people come up with all kinds of insane theories online. I just told you about how there was a theory
What?
that
Online? Whoa.
Aaron
Hold on.
Rodgers was dating an AI chatbot.
Please fill me in. Wait, what is it? You're telling me, hold on. You're telling me online, on social media,
make stuff up.
people come up with crazy theories about stuff that might not be true?
You ever been on Reddit?
That's really what happens? Like, people make stuff up and doctor images on purpose and stuff too, and clip certain videos in another way.
All that happens,
Really?
yeah. Huh. Sometimes they think
Everybody's making a
people.
big deal out of it. Well, Joe Burrow posted a picture of a lady
real?
with a glass in front. You can't see her face, but people are debating whether or not it's Kendall Jenner.
Oh, man, I got to say, man.
Which, hey,
He's dating a Jenner. That's really
I was going to say, given the Jenner relationship with athletes and how it's gone previously,
bleak.
it's not
be a bleak
great.
turn for Joe.
It's not great. You know what? If he's able to play in all 17 games, I'll take it.
You think that's going to be the difference?
Can he play in all 17, please?
You got some special.
The reverse psychology of it. He actually is going to be better.
Why do people think it's Jenner?
I don't know exactly, but
because
that's
there's a girl in the photo. And you can't.
Yeah, and you can't.
She's behind a
she-
wine
she,
glass.
she has the glass in front of her where it blurs her face out.
Man, off-season stuff.
And Joe posted it. Very interesting.
But apparently it was doctored, man. It was all fake.
Of course it was.
Oh, really?
Of course it was.
That's what this article's claiming.
I thought he posted it to his
It said
IG.
It said 2 doctors have been popped up on social media late Thursday, making it look like the model and NFL quarterback posted each other on their Instagram accounts around the same time before hitting the delete button. The fake Kendall Jenner post shared a pic of Burrow rocking a green hat, the same shot he posted himself earlier that day, separate from that.
He did.
The bogus Burrow image showed Kendall sitting at the table and covering her face with a wine glass.
Also, it's fake.
Again,
Like everything on the internet.
Here we go.
You can't believe you legitimately can't believe something that you
We
see with your
covered
own
this.
eyes now. It's actually kind of crazy.
We covered this during a Professor Tap segment. I remember specifically holding up some photos of like shrimp Jesus and saying some of the stuff online isn't real.
All right, up next, let's get back into all 3 locals, K-State, MU, and KU when it comes to college basketball. Rob Doster joined us earlier today. We'll discuss a little bit more about what we're going to see tomorrow at Allen Fieldhouse and the random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2, right here on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
We were just talking about it. Football's biggest game is right around the corner, a little over a week away next weekend, and you can get in on the action with Underdog right now in Missouri. If you're not an Underdog yet, good news, because new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. It's easy. Just get on the app, make your entries, choose a player who will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. And get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Plus, new promos dropping every single day in the app. So if you like making entries and winning money, then Underdog is the right place to be for the big game. You can also select from drafts and ladders and streaks. Each streak starts by making 2 picks. If both picks are correct, the next pick for the streak becomes available. Get 11 correct, and the prize is yours. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code TAP, T-A-P-P, to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code TAP, T-A-P-P. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/playing terms_DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll get to the random question of the day. Don't forget, we're a half hour away from Nate Taylor of ESPN joining us in studio for a Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We'll have some drinks. We'll talk some Chiefs football. We'll talk Super Bowl. And we certainly will discuss everything else that's going on in sports as well. And we know tomorrow in Lawrence, it'll be a big-time showdown between KU and BYU. And we really haven't seen a matchup like this involving the number one and likely number two pick in the draft. We don't know who's going to go number one with Peterson and Debanza, but we talked about it with Rob Doster from the Field of 68.
No, I mean, I'm sure we've had situations like this before, but what makes it so exciting is that it's been a while since we had a battle for number one, right? We've kind of known who the number one pick was going to be early on in a lot of these different NBA draft processes, right? Like, it was obvious very early that Cooper Flagg was going to be the number one pick last year, and the year before that was like, no one's beating out Wemby. You know, he's going to end up being the number one pick. So it's kind of fun to be able to track that throughout the year, especially when you got two guys that are both, like, neither of them are kind of losing that race. You know what I mean? Like, it's, oh, wow, you see Darren Peterson just had 25 points and a half, and, oh, did you see A.J. DeBonsa is averaging 26 points over his last 4? So it's like they're both out there trying to one-up each other. It reminds me a little bit, it's not the same thing, but it reminds me a little bit of Adam Morrison and J.J. Redick, right? Remember that in the February of 2006 and their race for National Player of the Year. So, you know, it's been really cool to see him kind of get back into the rhythm here. I know he's been dealing with some of the leg injuries and all that, but I don't think we're going to see Darren and AJ match up one-on-one against each other all that often, but I think that's kind of what if we can get a couple of possessions of that maybe late in the game, I think that's kind of what we're all hoping for, right?
No question. There's been frustration, as you know, nationally and locally about the availability for Darren Peterson and all that. How much do you think that, it sounds like not at all, has impacted, you know, the conversation around him and looking towards the draft and looking towards his future?
I think it's impacted the conversation within media circles, right? And in kind of the content realm. It's something that we talk about quite a bit on Field of 68. I'm sure you guys have had a couple of segments this season about whether or not Darren Peterson is going to play.
Yep.
But I don't think it's really impacted all that much when it comes to NBA front offices because they get it, man. Like they deal with load management, they deal with injuries all the time, and they even more than college situations understand that these players are essentially assets, right? And you can't run them into the ground when they're 18, 19, 20 years old, because that means you're not going to be able to have it pay off when they kind of hit their prime at 25, 26, 27, 28. So I think NBA teams get it, and you see what he's doing. It's not like he's out here dealing with like a torn ACL that he's trying to come back from, or he blew his Achilles out and he's trying to get healthy again. It's like the guy's dealing with cramps and he's dealing with a hamstring injury that is the kind of thing where probably if he sits out for 3 months and just does nothing but like strength training and all that, like he'll be back to being 100% again. But you can't do that in the middle of the season. You got to be able to stay in shape. You got to be able to be ready to play. So I don't think it's impacted his ability to be the number one pick. More than anything else, the reason why it's now a conversation who's going to end up going number one is because A.J. DeBonta has proven that some of those red flags that he had coming into the season aren't necessarily red flags.
If you look at like what it is, how important is it for a guy like Self, like just in the recruiting game, to make sure that he handles number one overall prospects the right way so the next one wants to come here, right? Like how much does that get discussed amongst top players?
Some, I'm sure it does, but like at the end of the day, I think a lot of these guys at this point are chasing the highest dollar figure that they can get paid. And as long as Kansas is going to be able to pay these guys the amount of money that a number one draft pick should be earning, then I think that they're much less concerned about what Bill said. Like, you're not recruiting anymore, right? You're negotiating now. That's why you got a kid from Boston who played his high school basketball in California and then in southern Utah is at BYU. Right. And you're going to tell me that was all just recruiting. Like, all that was Kevin Young just putting out this recruiting pitch that AJ was like, man, you're going to get me ready for the NBA. No, man, it's all about paychecks. It's all about how much money you can get. It's all about that at this point. So I'm not worried about how Bill Self handles this situation as much as I'm worried about Bill Self doing well enough that the people that are going to provide the funds to pay for these kids are going to be happy with the way that Bill Self handles the situation.
We certainly all have our own NIL complaints, and there's some issues with the system generally. But from like a health of the sport perspective, is it better the way it works for college football, as in these guys might stick around longer because the check is better than the G League?
Look, I think that being able to have these stars that are recognizable, right? Like 10 years ago, if you go back a decade and you look at who was entering the NBA draft and staying in the draft, anybody that had a chance to get an Exhibit 10 or a chance to get a guaranteed contract in like Kazakhstan was gone. Because you got like a 10-year window. If you're 19 or 20 years old, you probably got at most a 10-year window to earn money as a basketball player. And if you can go and make $50,000 and get a chance to be on an NBA roster at 21, or you're coming back to play for a school and get education and room and board, like you're going to go make that money because $50,000 is $50,000, right? And you still got the chance to make it to the NBA. Now, there are guys. Yaxel Lindenberg would have been a top 20 pick in the draft, and he came back to school, right? There's got more guys that are doing that and passing up the opportunity to go and get a guaranteed deal because they understand they can make money here because of the situation. And frankly, you might be able to make more money by coming back to school than you would by heading to the NBA draft. So I think it's made the talent level significantly higher. The European pros that are coming over has raised the talent level in this sport. The next step is going to be using that ability for NIL and to monetize your athletic skills in college to incentivize retention. Right now, you're incentivized to come out or to come back, put your name in the portal, and drive up the bidding war. You got to find a way to be able to incentivize retention and make it more profitable for kids to come back to the same program they were at versus leaving. The same way what the NBA do, right? They put in that rule where you can now make a higher max salary if you're at the place that you've been or the place that you were drafted, right? I forget exactly what the supermax the language is, but they incentivized staying home as opposed to going and entering full free agency. As soon as college basketball figures out how to be able to do that, and guys, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not that confident that the people that are running the sport are going to be able to figure that out because they got bigger issues, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's the brightest people making those decisions right now. But as soon as you figure that part of it out, so that let's just say like Trey White, imagine what Kansas fans would feel about Trey White if this was year 4 for him in that jersey as opposed to year 1, right? That's what you want. That should be the goal. That should be the ideal.
We're talking to Rob Doster, co-founder of the Field of 68. Now, with Kansas just heading into this game tomorrow, how do you feel they're playing right now? We all know there's a huge tough stretch of games coming up starting with this game tomorrow. Do you feel like, the conversation that people were having 2.5, 3 weeks ago after the loss to UCF, that now you've seen enough to where a lot of the concerns are gone, or what do you see with them right now?
I would just like to state for the record that I never jumped off that bandwagon. I've been saying all along that they'll figure it out. They'll get Peterson healthy. Give me Darren Peterson. Give me Bill Self. Give me that defense, and I think that team can go make a run to the Final Four. I've never backed off that take, and I'm very glad that I stuck with it because I think they're starting to put this thing together. The big thing is, and I feel like we've kind of beaten this talking point to death, but the big thing is with Peterson now consistently in the lineup, everybody has figured out what the expectation is for them for roles, what the expectation is for them for shots, what the expectation is for them for minutes. And that's a little bit easier to deal with than like, all right, he's going to play in the first half and he's not playing in the second half. And what's my role going to be? And when am I going to get shots? And so I think that it's helped kind of set up some things out and allow guys to define what their role is and what their job is. But I think the biggest thing is just, you now have two guys that can go out and get you 20 or 25 on any given night in Peterson and Council. You have a level of leadership with Council that I don't think people really realized when he was coming in. And the defense is back. Like the first three games of the Big 12 season, I don't know if Kansas could have guarded the three of us, fellas. And now they're back to being a team that is like top 10 defense. I think, what are they, like 12 on KenPom now? Like they're back to being one of the better defenses in college basketball. And if they're going to guard, and they got two guys that can go out and win a game for you one-on-one, and plus one of them might be the number one overall pick, plus you got a Hall of Famer that's won 2 titles in the last 15 years, give me that, man. Give me that all day.
When you look at the Big 12 as a whole, I think they took a 1 year at least hiatus from being the best basketball conference in the world. The SEC certainly was that last year. Are they back to being the best one this year? And I guess how many teams do you think out of the Big 12 make the tournament?
Yeah, they're probably the best conference, right? Like it's either them or the Big Ten. I think I would probably make the argument for the Big 12 just because I don't think the bottom of the Big 12 is what the bottom of the Big Ten is. And I do think that you see, to me, Arizona's the best team in college basketball. And I think you got 6 teams at the top of the Big 12 that legitimately can make a Final Four. And if you can make a Final Four, you can win a championship, right? But I think you got 6 at the top. Kansas, Iowa State, BYU, Arizona.
Tech, maybe.
I'm missing. Yeah. I'm Texas Tech. I'm missing one too off the top of my head, but I think that the top of that conference is the strongest you're going to get, and I think there's more depth in it as well. And we're finally starting to get some of these matches. Like Houston's the one I forgot. Apologies to all the Cougar fans in Lawrence right now. I'm just happy that we're starting to get some of these battles between like those top 6 teams in the Big 12 because that's when it's at its best, man. Like how much fun was that? Arizona gets up big in the Marriott Center, and then BYU comes all the way back, and Arizona almost gives it away, right? How much fun is this game going to be on Saturday? Like, this is what we want for college basketball, and this is the matchups that you want. It's the headline grabbers, and it's going to, AJ and Darren Peterson and Bill Self and BYU in the fog. Like, that's going to cut through the noise.
I want to
pick Arkansas, and you got Kentucky coming up right after. Like, that's going to cut through the noise. No one's going to be talking about NFL. No one's going to be talking about Charles Bediako. No one's going to be talking about any of this other stuff. They're going to be talking about those basketball games, man. And that's the stuff. That's when college basketball becomes the headline in the sport. I'm just glad we're getting it in January this year. And I don't know if we would be if you didn't have AJ DeBonta and Darren Peterson and these big brands facing off. So I'm happy that we're finally at that point in the calendar.
Just another couple minutes here. Rob Doster, the Field of 68. I do want to pivot to Missouri and K-State for a second. You got Missouri, who is 500 in SEC play, 14-7. They had the 2 big wins to start conference play against Kentucky and Florida. Then they had a little bit of a lull. Did not have a strong non-conference. Are they the best best example of truly a bubble team right now?
Yeah, the good news is that in the SEC you have a bunch of wins that you have that you can actually get that will be able to improve your resume, right? Like the Florida one's a perfect example, right? Like Florida is a team that looks really, really good on paper and is also kind of beatable because they're not a perfectly constructed team. Same thing with Alabama, same thing with Kentucky. They always more, right? Like you'll see these moments where they look like a team that can be a top 15 team, that can be a second weekend team that can make a run. And then they'll go and they'll get smacked by 26, or they'll go and they'll get 40-piece by Illinois. So Missouri's a team that I just wish that there was a level of consistency. And you see it year over year too, right? They'll be top 20 one year, and the next year they won't win a game in the SEC, and they'll come back the next season and make the NCAA tournament. It's just, can there be a level of consistency and normalcy with some of the performances you get out of that program?
On the K-State end, is Jerome Tang is there any chance, I guess, he survives this? His buyout is so high, maybe Kansas State doesn't want to pay it. But at this point, he's starting to make excuses for things that happened in August.
Yeah, man, and I love Tang too. I think that he represents a lot of what's good about the sport. But like at the end of the day, you got to win, right? And if you're going to have the money that they've spent the last couple of seasons on building a roster and getting some of these pieces and going and getting PJ Haggerty, and I know they spent a lot of money last year on that team. If there's going to be that kind of financial investment in the program, it's got to result in wins. Otherwise, people are going to stop donating that money. And once that money stops coming in, you're going to stop being able to build a roster. And all of a sudden, if you struggle with talent, all of a sudden when you have a team that doesn't have the talent, what's going to happen? How is that going to get built? So he's definitely got some things that he's got to figure out. I don't think that it's trending in the right direction. The biggest thing for me more than anything else is, last year you built a program around a guy named Doug McDaniel, who I don't think is a winning basketball player. I think that's kind of playing out in Memphis. And this year you're building it around PJ Haggerty, who very clearly left a program that wanted him back, that I think ended up offering him more money than he got at Kansas State to come back to go play. That's a guy chasing a paycheck. And I think that when you have a roster that's built around guys that are chasing a paycheck as opposed to guys that are invested in the success of the program, that's never going to be the way to, win at the level that some of that fan base expects and some of the people that expect when they donate all that money to the program.
So that was Rob Doster from Field of 68 talking about K-State there at the end. And that is on the Tang part of it. This is not a situation like, well, they're not giving him any money for NIL or anything like that. Quite the opposite, actually. They've devoted quite a bit of resources.
They've given him cash to try.
These have been the results. Appreciate Rob Doster for joining us. We're about 15 minutes away from Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. Nate Taylor from ESPN will join us. We'll talk some Chiefs football. We'll talk NFL as a whole. Also, perhaps reminisce about some movies a little bit. You saw during the last 30 minutes or so the terrible news coming out, originally reported from TMZ, that Catherine O'Hara passing away at the age of 71, man.
That's sad. Yeah. Comedy legend, obviously, and a great actress. We can even do it as a way of reminiscing. We can do it for the random question if we want today. You don't have to play the sound, Drew. You can just make it by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. What is your favorite role of hers? Catherine O'Hara is a lot of people are going to say Home Alone.
Yeah, that's the classic. The classic.
My wife and I have both watched and rewatched Schitt's Creek a number of times. So I can tell you right now that that's on the list. I think for me, by far and away, it's Best in Show. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't.
Do you like any, and so that is because you don't watch a ton of comedy movies. I'm sure that A Mighty Wind, Best in Show, all these done by the same director, Christopher Guest stuff. That's what I remember her the most from. The Christopher Guest series is when I got to know her as an actress, or I guess watched her a lot as an actress, certainly in my youth. So that was pretty high on my list. But yeah, her yelling Kevin, and I imagine that's the role you know her best for.
That's the first role that comes to mind, and that's the first role that I think of. I understand she was in 30 other, 50 other, whatever it was.
Oh, she was in the 90s Addams Family, which was probably the
honestly, she probably was in 100 other movies in some form or fashion or TV shows. But if you mention her name, the first thing I think of, given my age and everything, is Home Alone. Absolutely.
I think that's more than fair. I mean, I just got my kids
to
sit down and watch that for the first time this year.
A lot of people saying Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is also again, an all-time movie in the sense that people still talk and watch it. And again, the Christopher Guest stuff is just maybe because I got into that when I was younger and I really liked those movies. I think of her in those. It
looks like she was working on two projects too. Unfortunately, she's in the TV show The Studio, and then there was a pre-production of something called The Shadow King. I don't know what that is, but so she was in the process of working on some other projects.
71's not that old.
It's not. I know. So I was wondering, have they said any details on cause? Because 71 is not that old at all.
No, it's really sad. Makes me want to watch Home Alone, but it's not Christmas time. It doesn't feel right. But it'll be weird to watch it knowing, that first time you watch something knowing that someone's passed away.
No, I hear you.
That is kind of a weird feeling in the way you watch something or consume a sport or a movie or a television show when that like actor or actress is no longer around. And again, if you just tuned in, they were reporting earlier, maybe 20 minutes ago, that Catherine O'Hara, the actress from Home Alone and a million other things, obviously had sadly passed away in her early 70s. But yeah, and she's done a bunch of like animated stuff. Like I'm looking through her IMDb page now, and you're like, man, I didn't realize how much animated stuff she was in either. Or how many.
I was looking through through it as well, and I was surprised that she was in as many voice acting roles.
Yeah. I mean, when you're just naturally that
She
funny.
won 38 awards and was nominated for 56 of them, and including 2 Primetime Emmys here recently. So,
and she was most recently in the full season of. She was in an episode or a couple of episodes of The Last of Us, the most recent HBO series, really good based off the video game, and The Studio, the critically acclaimed Seth Rogen piece. She had been a part of as well. So like she's been doing some like obviously very popular or well-received shows here lately as well. So terrible news, man. Drew, do you watch Home Alone every year? Do you guys watch? Is there a certain holiday movie you watch every year, Gold? Do you get to one every? I know you don't like.
Home Alone is on all the time, so that's one that I like watching. Yeah, I mean, Elf is a classic. I enjoy Elf.
Somebody saying now both of Kevin McAllister's parents.
I guess that's
because the dad had passed away as well.
I guess that's true. Is that right?
He's in. You know that Macaulay Culkin's in the most recent season of the show Fallout on Prime.
Is he really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he is in it. He does like some random stuff here or there.
I don't know. I'm seeing more of him recently, and I don't know if it's just he's involved in more acting or if he's just doing more like I think he did the Wild Ones, where he eats the hot wings. I think or Hot Ones. Sorry.
Yeah, I got it.
Hot Ones.
Yeah.
You guys watch that?
I think he did Hot Ones.
I've seen clips. I've never actually watched a full. I've watched an interview once, or I guess it's not even really the interview. I guess that's the show. But I've watched that one time. That's it.
That's it.
Okay. But there was one thing where he talked about his kids don't know he's Kevin in Home Alone.
Yeah. A lot of people mentioning what you already brought up, which is Schitt's Creek. So,
well, that's her most recent long. That series ran 7 or 8 seasons. It had or maybe not quite that long, but it had a long run. And her and Eugene Levy were in stuff with Christopher Guest. They were in Best in Show together and Waiting for Guffman and these other movies. So they had a long-standing comedy history together. So like kind of a natural rapport probably to go with it. And then obviously Eugene Levy's son is one of the other male leads. And so we really like that series a lot. So it was just a regular one. And probably the most recent, like really long stretching one she did. Obviously she did the 10 episodes in there. John Hurd. I was trying to remember the name of the actor who played his dad. What a bummer. What a bummer. Somebody says Macaulay Culkin's only in Fallout for like 5 minutes. Maybe he's in it longer. He didn't like die or anything in it, I don't think. I don't spoil anything for a new show people watch.
I picked up
a new show?
Not a new show, but I told you I've been trying to work my way through the Best Picture nominees for the Oscars because I hadn't seen any of them. And so I watched Sinners finally last week. And then I also watched Begonia or whatever. Begonia. And that's weird, but it's really good. That's a weird one. And you said you haven't seen that yet?
No, it's on my list. It's the one I'm going to watch
It's on
next.
Peacock, I believe, is what I watched it on. And that's a really, really well done.
You like that one?
It's definitely different.
Oh, it's weird.
It's very weird. It's very weird, but it's well done.
But I like Plemons, and obviously, and Emma Stone and the actors and actresses. I'm interested in seeing it. I haven't caught it yet. So you've seen 3 now or 2?
Just the 2. Sinners,
just Begonia and Sinners. What's next?
You tell me. What should I watch next? F1. I gotta be in the right. I'm not a big F1 fan, so that one doesn't interest me as much. But
I think that's a plane movie. I'm convinced that that's a plane movie. I know that doesn't make sense based on the fact that it's probably like big in action and feels like that. Maybe one battle after another.
That's the favorite to win. That's the favorite to win.
Yeah.
The Academy Award for Best Picture.
Because the truth is, I don't think you're going to be a big Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro fan.
What's the Hamlet one? I don't know if I'm going to like that.
And you seem to scoff a bit at the idea that one was like a foreign film, might not be regularly in your watch history. So you could probably skip that one.
Someone said is that the one where Emma Stone is an alien and destroy? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Emma Stone's a big baseball fan, isn't she? She's like a big Padres fan, if I remember correctly. Like massive Padres fan.
I don't know. Is that true?
I think it.
Now you're just making
me
think of other athlete clips. We're just talking Macaulay Culkin. You've ever seen him wax? There's an entire clip of him talking 5 straight minutes.
He's at Lakers games.
He's a massive LA sports fan. There's a 5-minute clip of him talking about how much he likes the play of Puna Ford. So like,
Have you seen the video? So somebody
football nut.
have you seen the video? I don't know. I think it was it at a Dodgers game or was it a Lakers game? Brenda Song is so much more into it than he is. Like she like stands up and is like yelling at the refs or whatever after
That's his
plays.
wife, Gold, in case you didn't know.
I was like,
You were like, why is he talking about somebody named Brenda Song all of a sudden?
You don't know who Brenda Song is?
I'd have to say, should I?
I think
Did you watch Sweet Love of Zach and Cody growing up?
I don't think so.
That might be.
Oh, that show? Yes. I'm looking at a picture of the show. Yes.
You did watch
But I
that.
don't
That was too. I didn't watch that show.
That's
but I
08.
still knew she.
That I know the name, but like that was 2008, 2011. I was in college, so no, not really. But I now know who you're talking about because I see her photo on the cover of the Disney TV show thing.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Emma Stone is a massive Padres fan.
Yeah, now we're just learning stuff about celebrities, Should we do a celebrity gossip corner on this show? A lot of people complaining about our content today. Should we include celebrity goss?
Instead of Professor Tapp, we'll get rid of Professor Tapp and just.
Well, who's going to lead the celebrity gossip
quiz?
segment?
Yeah, we'll just talk. It seems like it's going so well right now, so we should definitely do it more.
And we got to do. We'll say hot goss. This show.
Oh, no, okay.
This show. 3 people.
No.
Men in their 30s and 40s. Hot goss. And then we'll just talk about celebrity gossip. Are you guys interested?
I'm good.
It sounds like a podcast,
hard
like a
pass.
little
Hard
podcast
pass.
topic.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want to do it on the show?
I don't.
Gold doesn't. Drew, what's your interest?
I mean, I'm open to it.
I think we
I
should
can't tell
talk
you I'll
more-
contribute much, but I'm down.
We should talk more about necklaces, right, Cody? Since you're so ingrained with that whole.
I almost asked
was
Kramer.
just asking.
I almost asked our guy Kramer a question because I walked out of the studio here and he was walking around. His chain was outside of his hoodie. I almost asked him a question because I don't think it was like that earlier before the show started. And I don't
think he heard this topic?
I think he might have heard the topic. I think he might have heard it, actually, yes.
I mean, you never know.
That would be incredible for what it's worth. That's a random question today.
All right. Don't forget, by the way, the Chiefs off-season show is Tuesday, February 10th. We'll have Bob, we'll have Dusty, we'll have C-Dot all in studio. We'll be in here from 9 a.m. to 11 talking all things Chiefs off-season on February 10th. Up next, we will certainly talk some Chiefs. We'll talk maybe some movies. Who knows what else we're going to get into as Nate Taylor from ESPN stops by a fan club Friday.
Watch Cody and Gold on YouTube by subscribing to the 96.5 YouTube channel. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Real sports talk for real sports fans. What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and you can catch You Better You Bet with me weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the new Westwood One Sports. From being live from Radio Row for the big game to being joined by the biggest names in sports and entertainment, it's sports talk for people that love sports. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM on Westwood One Sports. The
new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues with UFC 325 live from Australia. Catch featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch of his epic title fight against Diego Lopez, and the always dangerous Dan Hooker throws down with dynamic finisher Benoit Saint Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown. UFC fans, pay-per-view just got knocked out. Catch UFC 325 on Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus. Stream every fight live with one subscription. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, it's Josh Vern. You're in before I head out to Arizona to see the boys in blue in spring training. I'll be hosting the Royals Rally Show live from Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. The biggest names in the organization will join me for exclusive one-on-one interviews as they get ready for the 2026 season. If you miss any of the show, it'll all be available afterwards on the All Things Vern podcast channel. The Royals Rally Show, Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9, right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and coming up on Tuesday, February 10th, everyone from the station will be hosting the Chiefs off-season show, starting at 9 a.m. Bob, Dusty, Cody, C-Dot, and myself will all be in studio and on camera for 2 hours talking about what went wrong in 2025, the Chiefs' biggest needs in free agency, and who should they be targeting in the upcoming NFL draft. The Chiefs off-season show, starting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, February 10th, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Royals fans, it's Vern, and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
A Fan Club Friday here on Cody and Gold. Nate Taylor from ESPN going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. You guys can always interact, 913-586-7965. We will certainly get into some Chiefs talk with Nate, but anything else for this? So what do we got? You got the drinks all ready to go. Video stream, as we always know, is up and running. You guys can see visually what we're drinking here, but explain exactly what we got in here.
Yeah, so it's an espresso martini today. So it's got vodka, Cafe Amaro, obviously from J. Riga, their coffee-based liqueur. This is a less creamy one. I used to make one at Webster, like a Kahlua. It doesn't have that. So vodka, espresso, almond orgeat, so kind of like a nuttier flavored liqueur to go with it. And then, what am I forgetting? There's one more.
What else did you put in this?
What else did I put in it? It was at least those three things.
I definitely the nuttiness that you talked about is definitely there.
That's a part of it. That's definitely a part of it.
I was trying to think of the the phrase in Ratatouille where
bitters.
There's the nuttiness, there's the tang. Something along those lines.
Makes us look very fancy, drinking him out of martini glasses.
Yes, it does.
Very smooth cocktails.
Yeah.
You guys have seen Ratatouille, right? Where you know what I'm talking about?
Bits and pieces of it, yeah.
Okay. Been a while, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, little kid Drew is referencing Disney animated movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But either way, enjoy and you're not a big coffee guy, but I still think you'll like this.
Yeah, it's not a heavy express. It's not a heavy flavor of coffee. It's not overpowering. That's why it works.
Yeah. And that's, depending on what kind of coffee drinker you are, it's always just a little bit different. That's why those blend liqueurs, I'm not going to say the exact sentence Drew said, but that almond orgeat flavored liqueur.
You
certainly
don't taste the nuttiness?
It's there, Drew. Definitely is there, man. Yeah, it definitely is. We've got Nate Taylor walking in.
If you know, you know, I guess. You know?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it's just awkward, which it might be awkward either way, I guess.
Well, save your own drop, please.
I'm working on that
Save your
now.
own drop of that for future
I'm
use.
working
We
on it
appreciate that. Text line will have fun with that, I'm sure, as well. 913-586-7965.
Last 2 weeks have been really bad for this show, saying stuff out of context.
Well, it happens, you know?
It was particularly sexual.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
That was
The one I really regret is about the Chiefs Stadium Dome. That is by far and away.
Well, yeah.
We need to make sure Nate hears that one.
You want to wait till
We'll
Nate
wait for
puts
Nate to
headphones
get
on and
settled
see what
in.
he thinks about when
He's
I was
still,
talking about?
Yeah, he's setting up here. We'll give him a second.
For some context, Nate, as you get set up, we were talking about the Chiefs' future stadium. And I had said I would like it to be open air because I like outdoor stadiums and they, I understand why they would do a dome and all this other stuff and whatever. But when I had said it, I had said, no, we won't give you what you want. I'm giving you just straight dome. Which was an unfortunate way of putting that particular stadium conversation.
It's the straight and then just the punch of dome. That is
oops.
Wow, we are right back in
Oops, what's up, Nate?
high school.
You know what?
Circle,
It's a fan
whatever.
club. We can have a little bit of fun.
Wow.
You can have an espresso martini.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Jay Rieger.
As well, yes. Lovely people, by the way. I was there, I want to say pre-Christmas for their little pop-up, tiki bar setup, a little date night.
How was that? I went there for New Year's Eve and we had a great time.
It was great. They gave us cookies. We're like, you just want warm cookies? It's like, sure.
Like you're at grandma's house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm trying to think. There was about 8 of us, and it was a ball, man. We had a nice time. It was freezing, but getting inside there, the people were nice. It was nice to
Great
see
spot.
a It was fun.
What's it been like for you the last couple weeks? We were
Early off-season mode.
Yeah, Drew was saying it doesn't feel like the Super Bowl's about to happen, and I was like, well, yeah, we've been spoiled for 3 years in
Right.
Kansas City. There's been energy and all of that around. What's it like for you? Less busy, I would imagine.
Yes. It's been a bit odd, I think we have as a media corps tried to tell our hometown just like how special and rarefied air it was to be in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. And then I have to remind myself, like, I've covered 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. And so it will feel odd, to sort of watch the game. Thankfully, I'll get to do it with my dad and my son. My oldest, who's 10 and, football crazed. So that'll be a nice change of pace. But it will be odd to, like, wake up Sunday and not
realize it's the Super Bowl.
Even I'm saying even this Sunday, like wake up this Sunday and realize I don't have to pack. Like I don't have to pack for a week long.
That's true.
Trip.
I guess we always flew out on Sundays.
Yeah, we'd always
We've been going a lot.
Yeah, we'd always fly out on Sunday. The team and the collective media corps would have its media night on Monday, and yeah, it'll be weird to sort of see that. I guess from afar. I've because of my experience, tried to lend some help to other people at ESPN. But yeah, it'll be weird to be like, hey, this is not a game that any of us anticipated necessarily, and we've got 2 quarterbacks who are just very much in uncharted territory at different stages of their career. So it's fascinating from that standpoint, but I don't know what to expect. Which I guess is both the good and the bad. And it will be nice to watch commercials. That's something I have
Yeah, you're missing out on.
I've lost the art of that. Like I
forgot that was a topic of conversation on a Monday after a Super Bowl for us.
Correct. Like I'm so used to being like, okay, go to the restroom. Okay, go to the kitchen.
And the halftime show,
look at my phone.
While it's cool to see the halftime show in person, one, you're still getting off of watching the game, but then also you don't get to see
you can't see all the
you
angles.
can't see everything, and the presentation's for
Yes.
home, not for the people in the stands.
Correct. I had no idea Serena Williams was dancing last year, y'all.
Right.
I had
Oh,
no
not
idea.
until after.
Yeah, way after.
Yeah.
I don't think I really caught the background dancer protest until afterwards. Like I just didn't see, and I think Kendrick Lamar, and I've told my friends this, Kendrick Lamar's setup was like almost the entire field, which was unique compared to most other artists that have the honor.
Which looks great on TV when you can go from part to part to part.
That's
versus
right.
You're just looking at the whole thing, Nate.
Correct. Yeah, like Usher's stage looked very small in comparison to Kendrick Lamar. So again, I don't know what Bad Bunny will do this year. It's an outdoor venue that's a little bit different than being indoor. Again, which gave Kendrick a large canvas to sort of be creative about. But yeah, I mean, it's just everything will feel like very abnormal to me. But hopefully we get a good game. That's all. I just hope that somewhere in the fourth quarter there's drama that is compelling, and you can sort of see the push-pull of like game plan, strategy, time, and situation football.
I will say it has been like, just because of the way it works out, and I know Nate will understand, it's like with the kids stuff or all the stuff, I tore a backsplash, I redid some time. the amount of, and I imagine too, the amount of additional free time that opened up in January was genuinely weird for me. I'm used to like, we're like beginning to end this whole month and riding out like a very long month of this where you're like, all right, AFC Championship games, and Alex and I be at the game all of a sudden. Like, all right, we got to book our flights, and what hotel are we staying? Do we got to get a rental car?
Yep.
I just like, I don't know, I'll just work on the house a little, see my kids more. That's great. It doesn't seem all that bad. Yeah, for 1 year. I'd like them back next year, but for 1 year, not bad.
Correct. And I think, too, it was fascinating to be like, all right, well, the Rams have lost. The Seahawks have won. And I can just turn the TV off.
Yeah, that's
cool.
You don't have to see what anyone's post-game thought is or feeling?
No, not really. I'll catch it up on Inside the NFL and obviously reading, my
Somebody will
colleagues'
send out a
works.
Twitter clip.
Yeah,
It's fine.
exactly. It's funny you mentioned backsplashes. Like, we did the whole
Yeah, you did your whole kitchen.
We did the whole kitchen renovation. So Holly's been very pleased to have friends and family over, having a cooking extravaganza. But yeah, man, it's just like, okay, we've reorganized a lot of our house and, just have a lot of time to just be like, cool. Like I could just.
You cooking more or no? Is this Holly's domain?
I'm washing dishes more.
That
is the trade-off. That is the agreement.
You
That's
get
the
to eat
contract
well,
I
but you
signed.
gotta.
Of course, yeah. But while and for those people that don't know, we have a 9-month-old son in Noah, and so if she's putting Noah to bed, like, hey man, them dishes ain't gonna clean themselves. You better get on it. You put the 10-year-old to bed, then you clean the dishes, then you hope to have a little slice of heaven called like actual husband and wife time.
Dude, that is the slimmest window
for
at
sure
this stage of my life than
my
it's ever been.
goodness. Yeah.
Because you get like everything's settled and it's all done and it's like 9:15. You're like, man,
I'm
I can't even bring it to me to like start a movie or a new show sometimes. Like, let's just put something on we had just already watched.
So one of the things that has been awe-striking and has like kept Holly's like I guess riveted is probably the best word. Because we'll do the thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna watch this murder mystery show or we're gonna watch Love Is Blind, and like I can tell 35 minutes in, like, we're
losing Holly.
We're losing gas. But the guy who climbed that skyscraper and
I couldn't look away.
Oh, Alex was locked in too.
We've watched both documentaries of this man.
I've
now.
only seen that live Netflix special. That was it. Holland.
Yes, Holland is a superhero character for someone who has, and I know that I'm not the first person to say this, who has like who does not have the fear in his brain the way you and I and most people have when it comes to like understanding fear or like, wrestling fear. Like it's honestly awe-striking, and to your point, like can't look away. Like we've watched the documentary on him. We've watched. I have no desire to climb mountains, ladies and gentlemen, let alone doing it without a rope or a harness. But like, he on some real Spider-Man stuff, and it was great television. So that's what we've been watching. We did finish His and Hers a little bit ago. I guess we're on like a Netflix like supercharged suite right now. But you're right, Cody. It's like 9:15 to like 11:15, and
I'm not always making it to 11:15
right.
anymore.
Well, I'm in a weird spot because if she decides to go to bed, I'm like, because I'm a lovely ESPN employee, I'm like, do I wanna? I'm not gonna get any sleep. Do I want to switch over to tennis in Melbourne right now to watch the Australian Open?
I was about to ask you, how many late nights have you had, Nate?
Guys, I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm not gonna lie, it was incredible. Thank you, Drew. It was great. I was worried for our chosen one, man. I was worried about Carlos. I can't imagine.
He's down 2 sets.
I can't imagine you playing through cramps and just like, okay, if I just wait him out, if I just try to extend this as long as possible, my body will like regenerate and recover. It's amazing. Like, we see, and again, this is like spring training or like training camp time, but like we see high level professional athletes in America have cramps, and it's like, oh no, like guys, they don't have to, like, we take them off the field. We just say, hey, you get some hydrate, get that pickle juice in you, stretch it out. It's so odd in tennis to be like, no, like next point. Like, and by the way, you only have like 20 seconds to like get prepared for whoever's serving.
We've got Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us here on a Fan Club Friday. We can get to the Chiefs, of course, here in just a bit as well. But you mentioned the storylines maybe around Seattle and New England as well. Do you think if you're a Chiefs fan and you were kind of hate watching the playoffs, this is about as ideal as it could be, especially if the Patriots lose in the Super Bowl. But otherwise, if Sam Darnold wins, no harm done there. Mm-hmm. If the Patriots win, it'll be interesting to see how they follow it up next year before it becomes a real conversation. Look, Drake May, clearly MVP candidate this year. I don't know if I'm convinced that he's just consistently a top 5 quarterback in this league. The way
really bad in the postseason.
The playoffs have been questionable. But if he goes out in the Super Bowl against that defense, they win, and he throws for 280 and looks amazing, then the momentum for him in the offseason, suddenly people are going to have that conversation that he's one of those really, really special quarterbacks in this league. How real, I guess, do you think are the Patriots a team you think we could be talking about for the next 5 years? Let's say 3 years.
Yeah, let's say 3, because 5 gets a little bit tricky
3.
because now they are set up to maybe have a 5-year run because of the quarterback and the head coach, and you got a stable ownership group with Robert Kraft. So I guess, yes, for a 3-year window, it would be fascinating to see, this might be the last sort of peak level of Stephon Diggs, and he's been so invaluable, I think, to their offense and having at least someone that you could rely on in critical situations. They're going to have to get more receivers, I think.
So trade for A.J. Brown or sign a Mike Evans. Boom.
Mike Vrabel did at one point in time coach.
He did.
A.J. Brown.
He did. Sure did.
Just saying. By the way, they have plenty of cap space because rookie quarterback or quarterback on a rookie contract.
They've got top 10 most.
Yeah. So there's reason to believe that, again, the AFC East is a 2-team division because I don't know. The Dolphins are in full-on rebuild mode, which is understandable. The Jets are the Jets. I don't have to say anything else. We'll see what happens with Brady, Joe Brady, and the Bills. And whether
interesting hire. I don't know if I love it.
I don't love it either. Whether or not, because really this all comes down on Brendan Beane, and if he can actually build a better roster surrounding Josh Allen. But that gets hard because Josh Allen's making legitimate NFL money, and
maybe there's some bad draft picks lately. So,
and I was gonna say every veteran free agent they've signed to significant money has not panned out. So getting off those contracts becomes harder because not only are you tied up to that money, but again you can only do so much to move your quarterback's contract as well. So I think from a divisional standpoint, coaching standpoint, I would assume Drake May would get better. One of the best clips of the postseason so far is Drake May being like, I don't know if I got it in me. I'm tired. They're hitting me. I'm hurt. And Josh McDaniels being like, hey, Doc, it's supposed to be hard. The last 6 minutes of the AFC Championship game, he's mentally fried, and they still find a way to not give the ball back to the Broncos by using his legs. It was a beautiful sort of play call based on down and distance and situation. But, it's hard to see what's going to happen with the Bengals, right? I'm fascinated with the Chargers, but again, can they ever stay healthy, even with I think an improvement with Mike McDaniel. We know the Chiefs are ready for sort of a restart to their own potential run at another Super Bowl. I don't like any of the teams in the NFC North. I don't like any of the teams in the AFC South. So I think by rule of thumb and elimination, yes, I think the Patriots have staying power, even if they don't win the Super Bowl.
It's funny. You mentioned Joe Brady. We were talking about this in the show, so I don't think they necessarily agreed with me as strong, but I just want to ask you because the parent stuff we were just talking about. Can you help me explain why NFL coaches like glorifying hating their kids, or I don't know, some version of that?
And they talk like
Mike
they're
McDonald
not on
and
camera.
Joe Mike McDonald and Joe Brady being like, I never see my kids. They don't even know my name. I'm a total mystery person to them. Who could it be?
Yeah, this was Joe Brady, for those that don't know what we're talking about.
This job demands sacrifice, right? I'm calling you on the way to a game while you're going into labor, right? And I find out after a game that you go through, you give birth by yourself.
Oh! And then he was just talking, and then Mike McDonald was like, well, I see my kid on Thursday.
Coaches, and guess what?
Yeah.
They're smarter.
Doctors who work
They're
less.
smarter than the NFL coaches and you and I. So it's so stupid to be like, we live in a world where we have the ability, and this is just me, right? Through the NFL, through True Media, through Next Gen Stats, guys, I could just type in a player's name and get every play they have of the entire season. Hey, give me every 3rd and 2 play from the season. You know how long that takes me?
Somebody looked up
less than 2 minutes.
Somebody looked up they ran all 41 plays that were 4th and 2 or less with a backup quarterback this year. Because they were just trying to make a point about whether or not Sean Payton made the right call going for it.
That's a great
with a
point.
Backup. There were 41 plays, believe it or not, this year without the starting quarterback in on a 4th and short.
We're not doing this on high school projectors.
Yeah, you're not literally cutting film.
Correct. You're not putting it on the overhead with a sheet of film.
And also, even if they
that's
were,
how I learned algebra. Okay,
even if they were, as you know, they have quality control, systems that are the splicing the tape and everything for them as well. Now, I don't know what the minimum hours that you do need to work for the job. That's what I told Cody. I go, I don't disagree.
There's probably a minimum.
I don't disagree that it's absurd. You not seeing your kid for more than 30 minutes a week or whatever a day is absolutely insane. But I don't know what the minimum is, Nate. Can you work only 8 hours? I don't think you probably can.
I would say
I feel like 10 or 12 hour day.
Is 10 to 12.
Yeah, I think that's
but you've got to be efficient and deliberate and be willing. And again, this is something that even Andy Reid has said, be willing to delegate certain roles. It doesn't have to be all on you because
you can't figure it all out.
You're the head coach. Yeah.
Matt Nagy talked about this. He had a real problem with that in Chicago.
Because
he openly admitted he had a delegation issue.
And again, that goes to again, I have this theory. It is largely proven to be true. As men, we are idiots. And we have ego, and we just feed into that ego, and we say, but what if, you know what? I know Sean Payton's in the lab right now, so that means I gotta be in the lab. Man, Sean Payton could be asleep on his laptop right now. You have no idea. Or
he also knows football better than you, even if
whether
he's in the lab or not.
He has more experience than you, so he kind of has an advantage inherently if you're a new coach.
Someone says if my head coach doesn't get a divorce, he's not spending enough time on his team.
If we can't get this,
he's got to Tom Brady his family away, or he's not trying hard enough.
Will say, so I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying, but we also know how unfair social media can be. Because let's say, and it's more on the player side than coach, admittedly, because we see it with players all the time, where a player's out hanging out and people freak out and how come you're not looking at film on your iPad? But I do think if all of a sudden you just saw Sean McVay, I guess we'll just use as the example. Sean McVay, every Friday night is just out with his wife, but also they're just constantly. There would be some people. I'm not agreeing with it. There would be some people got a big game on Sunday. What the hell are you doing?
They do it with players all the time. They'll see them out at a restaurant. They'll be like, "Why don't you get in the gym?
So
why are you out to eat?
So people,
why are you eating? Yeah.
so people do that.
Yeah, try to get in the cage.
Right.
They do, Gold. You're right.
Which is so funny because we are all reactionary. It's if the team's on a 3-game winning streak, maybe there's less venom to that statement, or if that statement isn't even uttered at all. There's Andy Reid, I don't know how much they did it this past year, but I know in previous years they've had a coach's dinner where hey, get the wives out, get the family out, get the kids out. On a Friday night, we're just gonna go to somebody's house and grill, or maybe we'll get together and go to a restaurant and try to keep it low key. That's on Friday night, right? And so again, this was during the dynastic run. Again, I don't know how much they did it last year, but it was just a way for the coaches to bond and again not be on the whiteboard, not be on the computer, not be, on the phone talking to whoever, or being on Zooms, constantly back in that era.
Well, sometimes you got to get away from it to see it anyway. Some of it is we just pretend we do a creative job, right? It's not NFL coach, but we got to come up with things to talk about, things to do. Gold, if you and I sat on a rundown for 15 straight hours trying to improve the show for 15 straight hours, it wouldn't be getting better. What would happen is that idea we came up with an hour and 7, be like, remember that one in hour 7? Hour 15, we'd be coming back around and be like, that was the one. We're just wasting time, spinning circles.
And then you feel, and again, I remember I want to remind people of this too. Like, okay, whether it's 8 hours, whether it's 15 hours, whatever that range is, you still can't control everything.
Yeah.
And the thing that I always remind myself about coaches is, okay, there was a time, I can't remember the exact game. Maybe it was early in the season, but like you could tell there was film study involved, there was a detail, there was specificity. Okay, if we get this down, and I think about this from a coaching standpoint, this formation, this personnel group, this down and distance, this area of the field. We have to hit on all 4 of those to even consider this play call that we're about to make. And I can't remember the exact game, but the Chiefs found themselves in the red zone. All 4 situations were a hit. Oh my goodness, we've already tested it early in the game, in that first 15. Okay, here's our personnel group. Here's how they're going to react. Okay, now we can run it. This is the moment. We've spent, again, hours. And they called, I believe, a screen to Isaiah Pacheco. And, baby, it was lined up.
Yeah.
And Pacheco dropped the ball.
Yeah.
There were 30 yards in front of him. I remember that play.
And it's just like, so you want to be a coach? The coaching staff looks incredibly smart.
Well,
and by the way, just pantsed that other team's coaching staff completely. And it don't matter because you can't control everything.
And I didn't look at it as a complaint. Because I think he's a very smart football coach. Sean McVay talked about this in the NFC title game. He said, there is no reason 2 people should be out on Kyren Williams. He's like, they messed up. Like the scheme broke down for the other team. Technically, the players did the wrong thing,
right?
And it actively helped them because they got someone out on Kyren Williams who's not supposed to be out there
on 4th in the season, basically.
Yeah, and so this stuff there are still some non-controllables,
correct,
and talent. So you can plan as much as you want. Do you also have the superior talent? Do you also have
That's why it's a perfect game. In my eyes, it's like the perfect team sport, not just because of the physical demands of it. And again, you have to be all mentally in sync with 11 people, not 5, not 6, 11 people. And unlike, European football, they hit you, man. They will hit you if you mess up. You will get somebody hurt. That's why it's the perfect game because there are so many variables. There's so many unexpected occurrences that you can be as prepared as possible, and yet you still may have to do something out of your norm, out of your comfort zone to have success or failure. It's a beautiful game when you consider, like you said, the certain scenarios that we can all come up with where you're like, man, we had it, or hey, the quarter. I will never forget that. Again, Joe Brady, as a perfect example, spent hours being like, look, there's going to come a time in the season when we're going to have a 2-point play to win us a game. And that game was at home against the Philadelphia Eagles in the rain. And I think it was Khalil Shakur who ran a perfect sort of advanced whip route. He made it look like he was doing a crosser, got the corner. I think it was either Cooper DeJean or whoever to bite on the, oh my God, it's man coverage. He's going to take me on a drag. Yeah. I got to get there before he does. Pivots, does this moderated whip route back to the back corner of the end zone. He's wide open.
And
Allen just didn't even get close to hitting him.
Yeah.
And again, he's on a rollout, so he has no one in front of him. It should be an easy pitch and catch. And again, you just want to be like, oh my Lord, everyone in that stadium has to feel awful because we made the right call, and yet we lost the game.
Nate Taylor from ESPN with us on a Fan Club Friday. Up next, let's talk some Chiefs football. Eric Bieniemy had a press conference today. This week, I should say. So did Andy Reid. Want to react a little bit to that and see if Nate agrees with us on at least one free agent wide receiver and the dilemma with him. Next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. And Doug.
Oh, what a horrible call. Hey, ref, open your eyes.
Ref, you're really not going to call that? Come on.
Hey, ref, why don't you customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save money?
I don't think you get what we're doing.
Sure I do. We're all just giving him advice. You guys on sports, me on saving money.
Nope, that's not it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? Well,
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
if you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here, Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. Drinking a little espresso martini today.
Class it up for you, Nate.
Yeah.
You know?
Nate Taylor.
I feel so sophisticated.
Well, we said, look, ESPN, we got to roll out the red carpet. That's what we said.
That's the 4-letter network, you know?
Yeah.
Can't be messing around.
I am honored.
I'll say, you obviously come in during a normal time where you don't expect to consume alcohol during the show. I'll say, you run into a real problem. I'm going to warn you now for the way Fan Club works. You run into a real dilemma, I feel like, when we start doing Fan Club at this time. Where when I get home, it's like either, boy, I'm going to be real tired and this is going to do, or I can just start up. Party can get started now. And I can pour a second drink and just let this slowly filter into the night.
Otherwise, you need a nap.
Otherwise, you feel like you need a nap.
Right. Yeah.
You got to kind of choose one of the
nap.
You got to choose one of the two worlds sometimes.
It is a Friday. I mean,
yeah.
You know, we've all.
What time's Holly get done on a Friday typically?
Like 4:30, somewhere in there. Yeah.
So you just get like one more when you get home. And then,
hey, babe. Hey,
you also got a baby.
I know.
I got kids at least. They can operate a little.
The best part is he's crawling now, so he could be anywhere. Like, whoa, where'd you go?
What stage is your son in as far as like his interests go? Because like our kids are in a really interesting mix now where the youngest, the only thing he wants to do is trick shots. He wants, every second of my day is setting up some trick shot so he can do
That's
it.
cool.
And it's just like, he just wants to do trick shots. And it's a terrible time of year for it because I can't send him outside.
It's so
to like,
cold,
we got to do everything inside the house. I'm like, can you not break a lamp? Can we do only ping pong ball trick shots? Things that can't damage the house.
Right. Pots and pans everywhere.
What are the general interests right now? Because my daughter listens to music, dance, read. She's all over the place. But.
Yeah. So my 10-year-old, again, I don't know if this is great parenting, but he knows that like Stranger Things is about kids, and so we've been binging Stranger Things with.
That's
him.
all right.
And it's like, oh, that's right. They made this an adult show with kids.
You said that this is what my childhood was like.
Kinda, yeah.
No, way off.
He's, Hayden's still very much into football. So when it snowed and it was single-digit degrees, I should show you this. I should show you this photo. I was like, hey, bro, you only got about 15 minutes, and I'm gonna put a timer on you. But yeah, this is my kid.
Oh wow!
Getting ready to go outside.
Getting ready to go
That's
outside.
Awesome, though.
And he's like, my hands are freezing. And I'm like, dude, it's like 9 degrees outside.
When I was his age and a little bit older than him.
But it's because you watched that snow game and you're like, we got to do the snow game.
We used to go knock on each other's door. Snow football?
Oh,
the second we got 4 to 6 inches on the ground of snow, well, I would every single neighbor's door. We going down to play football?
Yep.
Oh, we don't get that many chances to play snow football.
Yeah.
We got to get out. And we didn't have like the mud on the ball. I mean, is that like, everybody's fumbling. It's a mess. Can't catch it.
You realize how hard it is for like actual athletes to do this? Yeah.
Did you play full tackle? We were talking about this on the show maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And they looked at me. I was a little crazy.